And this is why that when Muslims exist in any place and just be, and be as our Prophet taught us to be, it is a protection for the people in these lands. And that were they to know the blessing of having someone who says La ilaha illallah and follows the sunnah of Rasulullah and recites the Quran and recites the prophetic invocations and makes dhikr and all of these other beautiful things our Prophet taught us to do, is that they would pay us literally to be here. Because of the blessing of what happens in the earth, is it in a sense becomes consecrated. That when you call the adhan, when you say these adhkar, there's something happens in the internal realm that makes the place different. And that we were just sitting with Dr. Muhammad Isa Waili last night, someone that entered into this deen early on, something around 1974. And he was telling us stories of all of these people that he met and so forth. And that were you quite literally to graph and put it on a timeline from 1800, 1850, 1900, 1950, 2000, and then 2014. That the number of people that converted in this country is that you would see it just increasing very slowly, very slowly, very slowly for the past 185 years. And then in the past 25 to 30 years, is that all of a sudden it's going to take off. And that part of that story is that the fact that you have people now reciting the praises of Rasulullah, you have people doing khatams of the Shamal al-Turmi. This is something that is immense, is that they understood this, that we were just in Fez, this blessed city of Fez, with a blessed soul of Sidi Ismail, that he put on these majalis, and every single day of his life he's reciting Dalail al-Khairat. And that we were having lunch at his house, and that we were with our wives and children, and they were very tired. So that we wanted to go back, and he asked if we were going to attend the majlis, and we said we're very tired, we're probably going to go back. And he was, a bit taken back by that. He said people are drowning in sin. He says we have to do these majalis, the nutfi, not al-fitan. Right? We need to extinguish the fire of these tribulations. As that he saw that these majalis that they're putting on is a means for people to receive the mercy of Allah, a means for the forgiveness of his sins, a means of warding off that balaya and all types of tribulations. And that this is very real. This is very real. And we also just learned from Sheikh Aslam, is that Sheikh Muhammad Sa'id Ramadan al-Buti, rahimahullah ta'ala, is that he used to say, is that were the people to know of the balai and the tribulations that are removed from Sham because of the majalis of Sheikh Ahmad Habbal, is that they would all be attending them. وَكَمَا قَالَ. Meaning, in other words, is that these majalis are very real. And that the internal dimension of them are much more powerful than the external dimension. One time, and I believe Sheikh Faiz was there, is that we were sitting in the ziyarah of Nabi al-Ahud and the Westerners after the speech of Sayyid Habib Umar, that we went back to the place where Sayyid Habib Umar stays, and that we recited some nasheed and so forth. And then Habib Umar told us a story. He said that when the righteous are mentioned in a gathering, there is a cloud called the Sahabat Tawfiq, the cloud of Tawfiq, of divine facilitation, enabling grace. And he says is that this cloud then that travels to lands of non-Muslim and rains down. And anyone that cloud, the rains of that cloud hits, is that they become Muslim. And they looked at a friend of ours, Abdul Wahid, who was from Sweden, and he says, tonight it's in Sweden. Ajib. First of all, how are you going to know that there's a cloud of the unseen in Sweden? And to say it like it wasn't like, inshallah it's in Sweden, maybe it's in Sweden. Like he said, he pointed him out just out of the blue, Abdul Wahid, tonight the cloud's in Sweden. Yani, ish hada? That maybe it was the very Islam of people that became Muslim are from the barakah of a particular majlis min al-majalis. So we come together for these reasons. Is that we come together to remind ourselves of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.